Good morning and welcome again to the JBDC Virtual Biz Zone. My name is Sancia Campbell. I am the Public Relations and Events Coordinator here at the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. We want to welcome you to another webinar in our JBDC Virtual Biz Zone. This morning, we are beginning a 3-week series entitled Access to Financing. And we know that from studies, one of the biggest challenges that MSMEs face is access to financing. And so we decided to address this very important issue. And so what we did is to identify some of the financial products that are available in the market and partner with a lot of our local financial institutions to bring you the information firsthand. So this morning, we are in partnership with the Jamaica Money Market Brokers, JMMB, and they will be highlighting their suite of SME products. The presenter for this morning is Mr. Garth Allain, and he is SME Relationship Manager at JMMB. But just before we jump into the presentation this morning, just a couple of reminders. The session is being recorded and it will be available on the JBDC's YouTube channel later this week. We are also reminding you that we're going to be posting our feedback form or event feedback form in the chat so that you can tell us how you feel about the virtual biz zone, some of the things that you might want us to change, some of the things that you might want us to keep, because the idea is to make this a nice product for you to enjoy, but also to get the information that you need to grow and to start your businesses in case where businesses need to be started. So at this point, I want to hand over to Garth. He's going to share with you the information about the JMMB suite of SME services, products and services, and then he's going to take some questions at the end of his presentation. If, however, you have questions during his presentation, don't be afraid to put them in the chat and we will address them when the time is right. So it's over to you, Garth.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Sancia. And thank you to JBDC for allowing JMMB this opportunity to, meet with some of our MSME potential clients, current clients, and so on, just to kind of bring some sort of inclusivity to our Jamaican economy. Here at JMMB, we do realize that the majority of business owners in Jamaica are indeed MSME clients. So we wanted to ensure that we put forward a suite of products and provided a particular set of services that will allow us to partner with our MSME clients. Now, I intentionally chose the word partnership because MSMEs unfortunately don't have the benefit of large financial resources or backing as many of our corporate clients would have. So therefore, we took it upon ourselves to develop programs and platforms that will help to guide our MSMEs from point A to point B, from when your business has just been registered to, or even contemplating registering your business, to you have a registered business and you're going through the growing pains of your business and you wanted to know how to access the different types of financing, what type of financing is good for you, what type of bank account is good for you, and everything in between from start to finish. Now, that pretty much to me sounds like a very included and involved partnership. Now, a lot of banks will and can pitch you a loan facility and say, okay, you can do this and you can do this, and you never hear from them again. At JMMB, we do pride ourselves on our customer service, and we do pride ourselves on our ability to help our clients to achieve their financial goals and their business goals, because we feel as if when you meet your goals, that helps us to meet our goals. And I don't know about anyone else, but when my clients called me and said, Garth, I managed to close the deal, or I managed to do this, and I managed to acquire this stock or this inventory from here and here and that type of a thing, it genuinely makes me feel good that what I have done or how I've assisted them, whether it be a conversation or a loan application or a referral elsewhere, genuinely help them to get to where they need to go. Now, I want to, before I venture into the loan products, please feel free once again to put your questions in the chat if there's anything that you need to have clarified, or if you have any burning questions that you would like to have answered and that type of a thing. And I will definitely get to it at the appropriate time. I won't ignore anyone's questions, I promise you. Now, what we do is, and what our department in particular does is, we will come and meet with all of our clients. We will sit down and we have what we call a needs analysis. So we will have an hour-long conversation, 2 hour long, however time it takes, to figure out who our clients are, what it is that you need to have done, and how we can help you to achieve that goal or that target. Now, our needs analysis, as you can imagine, is very involved. So we will give you financial advice as to what is the best course of action to move from point A to point B. In particular, the products and services that JMB Bank can offer you, with the exception of, personal customer service and that type of thing, and general financial advice, is we do provide cash management services. So we do provide facilities by which you can have bearers deposit cash. We provide electronic banking services, which is, our online banking platform is actually quite good. It facilitates different types of transactions, whether it be local currency transactions, international transactions. You can request a manager's check, you can request a US draft that is negotiable here in Jamaica or overseas. We also provide through our SME Resource Center, and I want to go into the Resource Center before we even venture into any more of our bank products, because a lot of our listeners here today are MSMEs and are going through those growing pains, and they don't know, where to turn for particular advice and that type of thing. Now, what our SME Resource Center does, it is a dedicated department to the success and upward mobility and movement of the MSMEs within our network, right? So we provide 4 different needs in our resource center. We have advanced needs, delivery needs, interest, and funding. And I intentionally left funding for last, so we can get into that and discuss that thereafter. So our advanced needs programs, underneath that, what you will have is an incubator program. And I'm going to share this particular page here just so everyone can follow me, right? Sure. Right, so as you can see here on the screen, we have the 4 different categories. That's advanced needs, delivery, interest, and funding. Now, under our advanced needs, as you can see here, we have incubator programs. What incubator programs are, they're more geared towards businesses that are not formalized as yet. They are just registered and they don't know where to go from here. They don't know what to do from here and that type of thing. So our incubator program is a very involved program where you are assigned a particular representative to help you to go through the process of registering your business, go through the process of identifying your client base, or help you to identify suppliers, identify your niche market and that type of a thing. It is a very involved program that spans, I believe, a few months. And then the aim of that particular program is to move you from just registering to having a foothold in your business, to understand where you're going with your business and so on. We also, as you can see here, have an accelerator program. This is now for a business that has already been registered. Say you've been registered for a couple of months, you have a general idea of what your business can be and where you want it to go, but you just need additional help to push the business forward and to accelerate, as the term says, to move from that particular part of low growth to rapid growth. So you need some assistance in pushing that business out there, helping with some marketing, helping with certain growth initiatives. Say you want to grow your business, your revenue from 2 million one year to 5 million this year. This accelerator program will help you to find different ways in which you can grow a business and reduce your expenses and that type of thing. All with the purpose of increasing your net profit and increasing the financial prowess of your business. We have business development services that would include actually tax services. Now, being in the SME space, a lot of SMEs and MSMEs are not formalized as such. They're not paying the required taxes and they're not preparing the relevant financial documentation and the services provided. Now, if it is that these things are not done or they're not understood in the early part of your business and so on, it will inevitably cause you some issues further down the line. I have a lot of experience with clients that say, well, they want to access some financing and their business model is great. They have a good business plan, the cash flows look great, the bank statements look great. However, they have not been keeping up with their taxes or they don't have up-to-date financial statements. And now I do understand that there's a cost impediment to the preparation of financial statements and that type of a thing, but we can get into that part after. So a part of our expert advice would involve help with tax services and putting you on to tax accountants and marketers and financial accountants that can help you to put together financial statements in the proper fashion, so we can take a look at it to offer some type of assistance financially. Now, there are different types of financial statements that can be prepared. You have internal financial statements that are prepared by like QuickBooks and Quicken and online facilities such as that. They help the management of the business to identify what revenue you're looking at, what expenses you look at, and how you can work that out. Now, for financial institutions, these are not necessarily the best types of financial statements to provide. Now, what our resource center does indeed help to do is put together the typical fashion of your financial statement. So a balance sheet, an income and expenditure statement, a cash flow statement, the notes explaining the figures that you're seeing. These things actually go a far way in helping the business, and the sooner it is that your business can indeed put together financial statements, the easier it will be to receive financing or grants or anything like that. Not to say that if it is you don't have any financial statements, we're going to turn you back. That's definitely not what is going to happen. We'll work with you and kind of work through the issue to see how best we can put together those development services and that type of thing to help the business. We also, as you can see, help with marketing. Now, marketing is probably one of the more fundamental parts of running a business. You have the business services part where you have to manage the finances and so on, but there is also that part where you have to identify and meet with your clients and your customers who will help you to earn money. Now, we can put you in touch with subject matter experts that can help you with social media placement, content development, and that type of thing to push your business out there, to push the business out there and to ensure that everyone there and even those who you don't believe would be in your target market will see it. So I know all of us would use social media to some extent. So we can put you in touch with people that you can have place advertisements on social media. When you're going through your story feeds or Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever platform it is that you use, they can put you in touch with people who can create that great content for you, that eye-grabbing content, that thought-provoking content that drives people to your business, that drives people to what it is that you have to sell or produce or provide them with. So we do provide expert advice in all of those particular areas, and in particular as it relates to financial services. And as I said, we'll get to the funding part of it last. Now, we're gonna move over to delivery. We do provide delivery services. As you can see here, it says free do-it-yourself tools. Now, these do-it-yourself tools they come when you're a part of our resource center. It will help you to identify the strengths and weaknesses of your business and how you can exploit opportunities and mitigate the threats that are in your business. That comes within the resource center, and when we do our needs analysis of your business. Now, this might be the seemingly boring part of owning a business and having a profitable business now, but rather this is a very, very important part of what your business is and how it performs and how it will remain or continue to be profitable. Now, you have to understand the strengths of your particular business, and these do-it-yourself tools will allow you to easily identify what those are. If you have a good brand presence, or you have a fairly unique product that or a service that you can provide, a complementary or supplementary service, all of these things are examples of strengths of your business that you need to push to the fore. These are things that you need to put out and, you know, let the potential clients and your existing clients know that you can do these things and you're capable of doing these things. You do have to recognize that within a business space, you will have threats. Threats can come in the form of competition to your business, improper financial advice that can ruin your business, and that type of a thing. And now these do-it-yourself tools will help you to identify what those are so you can limit the impact that these threats will have on your business. Subscription services now. Subscription services in this particular case can be linked to marketing services as well. For example, Facebook ads and Instagram placements, social media content, and that type of a thing. I believe Google does these kind of subscription services that you can have an ad repeat on a particular cross-section of users between X and Y time. Our resource center can help you to do all of that. So you wouldn't have to engage with these third-party advisors. We can sort out all of that and put you in touch with the relevant individuals who can have all of this done. Now, if it is that you have to pay for certain expert consultations, there are certain things that you would have to indeed pay for, but you don't want to have to go through the rigmarole of identifying who it is that you think you can partner with or who it is that you think you can trust to do these services, because when your business grows to a certain point, you have to have different types of financial statements that would be more accurate in their descriptions and so on, and these things will indeed come at a cost. Now, we do all of that legwork for you. We go through and we filter out and we have a list of individuals and businesses that we're comfortable using. We're comfortable with the quality of the work that they put out, the advice that they give to our clients, because we're not going to just put you on to any and anybody. We have to put you on to people that we would go to if it was our business, because we don't want to give you our great financial advice and then put you on to someone else who will give you subpar service. So if it is that you have to pay for expert consultation, we will indeed give you our recommended individuals or businesses to complete this. Now, on a lighter note, then we'll move to the interest that our resource center can provide. We do have an SME club where we can introduce you to other business owners that we partner with. Now, while it is a fairly social setting, it is also for networking, informal networking and so on. So one of you could have a platform that makes pens now, and someone else has a platform or a business rather that makes notepads. That networking event and that SME club could help you to partner with that person, and you can have a complementary product where you provide a pen as well as a notepad. Now, these are free activities, these are free webinars and seminars such as what we're having here now, where you will have the opportunity to meet other business owners, probably business owners that you would not have met in other circles. It allows you to meet with more established businesses, so you can always pick their brain as to saying, well, how did you accomplish this? How did you move from here to here? What did you do as it relates to that? So I believe that similar to what we're doing here, this is a very good way to meet and have a conversation. I've actually been in a JBDC seminar before just to hear what our MSMEs were thinking or how they view, you know, the services offered by JBDC and their fellow MSMEs. And I was reading through some of the conversations in the chat, and I noticed that there was networking going on between the business owners, exchanging numbers, exchanging contact information to help each other's business grow. And the more of these webinars and seminars that we do, we may not do physical seminars that much anymore for obvious reasons, but the more of these webinars and club events and networking events that we can indeed facilitate, they will only result in additional business knowledge and experience for you. All right, now we're moving to funding. Funding is usually a sore point for a lot of MSMEs, but at JMMB, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide professional and practical solutions to our clients. Now, in particular to MSMEs, they tend, I have many clients who say, well, Gareth, it's really hard for me to get any funding. It is really hard for me to get a loan from the bank. The bank is not interested in lending money to me and anything like that. Now, I am not of the opinion that that is so. What we need to do is prepare ourselves for funding. Now, as you can imagine, the bank has to meet certain requirements and that type of a thing before we can go ahead and disperse money. Now, my job and the resource center's job is to ensure that my clients are put in a position to access this type of financing. Now, there are actually two types of financing: debt financing and equity financing. What I'm speaking about now is debt financing. I'll speak about equity financing and grants and IPOs and all of that shortly. Now, one of the most important things you can do for your business is to establish a bank account, right? I know there's often conversation about the requirements that surround opening a bank account. However, there is nothing more important for your business that you can do than opening a business bank account at JMMB or your financial institution of choice. Obviously, I would still prefer JMMB. Now, the reason for this is, even when we're provided with financial statements, or on the off chance that you do not have any financial statements, the bank statements helps us to gauge the kind of revenues and turnovers and profits that your business has. In some cases, if you have a good enough bank statement, we can help you to prepare the financial statements to present to the relevant department to see if we can access some funds. Now, a lot of businesses in Jamaica are indeed informal. Now, I understand that, and we as a group understand that, which is why we still try and implore everyone to say, well, register your business. If you don't want to go ahead with a limited liability business, go ahead and register it as a sole trader or a partnership. If it is that, also, if I use any term that is unclear or you require any clarification on, please feel free to ask, and I will be more than happy to clarify what I mean by whatever statements I make. Right. Now, a lot of businesses in Jamaica and within this MSME space are cash-based. We do understand that a lot of times you receive payment for the same pen here. I pay you, say you charge me $1,000 for the pen. Because there's not much cash flow through the business, oftentimes business owners will sell the pen and then take the money to buy another pen to then resell. Now, in principle, that is how your business works. Now, unfortunately, at least for the financial institutions, what tends to happen is we have no way, or it is very difficult to verify that, yes, you sold this pen for $1,000 and it cost you $200 to either make or import another pen. So with the financial statements and the monies passing through the account, it is a lot easier for us to go ahead and either help to prepare the financial statements, one, or rely on the requirements of the financial statements, or rather to rely on the accuracy of those financial statements. Now, as it relates to the cash businesses, it may take some time for you to get, you know, your routine with depositing the money through the bank and then going through the process of using your online banking to order stuff or request a check or whatever the case is. But as I said before, it is one of the most important things you can do for your business. We do offer cash management services where you can send a bearer to deposit money to their account. You can make bulk deposits if needs be. We can have you, if you're depositing a large amount of cash, and you know, we have special tellers that can go ahead and facilitate that, because we know you have to get back to your business and that type of a thing. But it is one of the most important things that you can indeed do for your business, to pass the money through the bank account. Now, on the assumption that you would have done that already and the monies are passing through the bank account and you want to approach the bank for financing, there are different types of financing solutions that we can provide to match what it is you're trying to achieve. Now, I'm going to give you a few scenarios, and I can tell you what type of financing that could be required to do that. Now, if you want to purchase, say, I keep using the example of the pen because pen is right here in my hand. So if it is that you are a pen wholesaler or a pen retailer, and you know you want to purchase 500,000 pens because pens are a hot topic and they go very, very quickly. And you approach the bank to say, well, Gareth, here's the situation. I want to purchase some inventory. I know they move quickly, but I want some time to pay it down to, you know, match with the cash flows of the business, because the cash flows are not where I need them to be at this time. What we can do is provide a loan facility, what we call an amortized facility, which is just a regular loan repaid by principal and interest over a predetermined time frame to kind of match with the cash flows of the business or where you see it going. In other cases, for cash businesses in particular, you might have clients that you give credit terms. Credit terms are simply payment terms that you allow some clients to pay you a week after you've delivered, 2 weeks after you've delivered, a month after you've delivered, 2 months after you've delivered. Now, that might cause an unnecessary strain on your cash flows, because you know you would need that money to purchase back your inventory and your assets and that type of a thing, to sell them again. But at the same time, you don't want to have to go through the process of the collection to speak to the different clients to say, well, I need this money now, and that type of a thing. Now, that is where a facility such as an overdraft facility would come into play. And what an overdraft is a predetermined amount that you can put your account into negative by. And I'm being very careful with the choice of words. So let me explain it a little better. If it is that you have $100 in your account is in credit of $100. Now, if it is you have an overdraft facility of $200, what you have available to spend is the $100 plus $200. So in total, you have $300 available. So if you've used up your $100 and you have what a lot of entrepreneurs call money on the road, you have money on the road that you need to collect, you just don't collect it yet. That overdraft facility is in place of that $200 that you can use that money to purchase some more pens while the money from your clients comes in to repay that overdraft. Now, an overdraft or a line of credit, as the case may be, is something that we consider revolving facilities, meaning the balance can fluctuate. The balance will go up and the balance can go down. Loan facilities only go in one direction. As long as they're being paid as agreed, the balances only continue to go down, and you cannot reuse them unless you apply for another loan. Now, overdraft facilities can go up and it can go down as per use. And another revolving facility is actually a line of credit, where you have the money available to you that you can draw on it or request a portion of it as is necessary. So if it is a situation where you know you're getting some goods from China, for argument's sake, and you have one particular supplier that is going to one particular client rather that is going to purchase all of these goods from you. You can request a line of credit from the bank, subject to, you know, our assessment of the business and so on. You can request a line of credit from the bank, and what that does is it will pre-qualify you or qualify you for an amount that you can draw down as is necessary. So it's something that you can plan for in advance. So you apply for it and you get it approved in January. It is done on an annual basis, so you will have it for 12 months and then it can be renewed at January of the following year. So if June approaches and, you know, or let me use that earlier time, say April approaches and, you know, you have your peak season is in the summertime, you sell bathing suits for argument's sake, and, you know, your peak season is summertime where you have people from overseas coming down and people taking vacation to go to Negril and Ocho-Rios and that type of a thing. And you know that you will be receiving a lump sum of payments because you have a client that is buying 150 bathing suits or whatever the case is, but you need either the material from China or the padding inside the bathing suits, etc., the laces in the trunks, whatever the case may be. And your client has committed to you by way of a letter to say, well, yes, I want X amount of bathing suits or whatever the case may be, and I will pay X amount of money for it. A line of credit will allow you to access the money you need to get the goods from your supplier here, so you can make whatever product you need to make, sell to your client, and then the monies from the client will come into the bank account to repay that. Now, a line of credit is useful because what you can use it to do is you can repay on an interest-only basis for a line of credit. So loan payments in general are split into two things: principal payments and interest payments. Now, principal payments is essentially the money that you actually borrow. You borrowed $100 from the bank, right? The interest payment is the money on top of that that the bank makes as profit. Now, what you can do, if your cash flow is not sufficient to pay the principal and interest during the time that you would have drawn the money down, you can pay the interest only for the months that you will need the money. And then when the money is coming from your client, you can then repay the balance of the money that you would have taken. Now, that is something that is very, very important for businesses who are mindful of their cash flows, who are mindful of the fact that apart from this one particular order, you will have to continue with everyday business. So we do provide that particular service. So we do provide regular loan facilities, overdraft facilities, lines of credit, regular motor vehicle loans. If it is that you want a commercial motor vehicle to move your goods, we can provide that type of financing as well. We do provide commercial mortgages as well. Say you want to buy somewhere to have a storefront for your business, or you want to buy somewhere for a warehouse, we do provide commercial mortgages for that as well. We also provide residential mortgages for the owners of our businesses. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit to where I said regular loan amortized facilities. I intentionally glossed over it because I wanted to speak particularly to a particular loan product that we do offer through, well, that the Development Bank of Jamaica offers through JMMB and other financial institutions. It is called the DBJ Recovery Loan. Now, what the DBJ Recovery Loan is, it's really low-cost access to funds to ensure that businesses can access credit as needs be to help to build out their business and recover from the impact of COVID. Now, as you would imagine, a lot of businesses were negatively impacted by COVID. They lost a lot of suppliers, they lost a lot of customers. There were shipping delays that critically damaged businesses and that type of a thing. Now, what this DBJ loan facility is a loan facility that you can access at 5% per year. The interest rate for it is 5%, which is probably the lowest cost funding that you will get on any particular loan facility in Jamaica at this time. Now, there's a cap of $10 million on it, which means you can borrow up to $10 million over 8 years at 5%. Now, you can use this to do a wide variety of things. You can use it to purchase inventory. You can use it to consolidate debt. And debt consolidation, for the benefit of anyone here that is not familiar with how it works, is it is essentially putting together the balances on existing loan facilities into one particular loan and putting it over a period of time that it kind of fits within your cash flow. So instead of paying JMMB $700 and instead of paying Sagicor Bank $1,000 and CIBC $2,000, you can have one loan facility with JMMB that would pay out all of those. So you would only be indebted to one particular financial institution to meet the requirements of that business. Now, back to the JMMB facility, a lot of it can be used for working capital, and working capital can indeed take the form of a lot of different things. It can be inventory purchase, as was the case with the pen. It can be used for debt consolidation. It can be used, depending on the type of your business, you may want to give your storefront a facelift. You have a spa for conversation purposes. You have a spa, and everyone knows that when you walk into a spa, you want to feel calm, you want to feel relaxed, you want to hear the music, you want to, feel comfortable that you're about to relax. Now, if it is that you feel that your business needs to be upgraded, you need some more plants, you need the wiring for the place to be fixed so the music can be played in different areas, you want to purchase some new fancy soaps and scents and improve the offerings that you have, you can use this particular facility to help you to do that. And once again, it goes up to 10 million over 8 years at 5% interest. So I implore everyone who's interested in that to definitely look into it and familiarize yourself with it. Reach out to myself, reach out to your JMMB rep to find out how you can take advantage of that. And JMMB through DBJ also offers a Go Digital loan. What a Go Digital loan is, it is trying to help to modernize businesses. It is at a cap of $800,000, and what it does is it provides funding to upgrade the technological infrastructure of your business. So if you want a better accounting software, if you want a better payroll platform to generate and print your receipts, you want to put in fiber optic cables through your business to ensure that you have Wi-Fi all throughout the place, and anything from that technological standpoint that will help your business, you can access that type of facility through JMMB to help it grow, to help you to move from point A to point B from that technological standpoint. Now, that would cover, for the most part, debt financing. Now, we're not limited to debt financing. As I was saying before, we do help our clients to access equity financing, right? Now, what equity financing essentially is crowd financing, as the case may be. Debt financing comes with a monthly repayment amount, whereas equity financing, as is the case with a lot of people go to the stock market and that type of thing, it is getting monies from me, you, and everyone else that is interested in the business to help to grow the business. And JMMB is a key partner in doing that. So what JMMB can identify for you is angel investors. Angel investors are essentially venture capitalists. And what venture capitalists do is you would provide them with a business plan. And if it is that they're interested in it, they can provide monies subject, and they do take a benefit of it for themselves as well. They can provide monies to help you to grow your business. And it is something that is called patient capital. Now, debt capital is not necessarily patient because how the financial system is set up, there is a set monthly payment for the provision of these funds. Whereas An angel investor might say, well, okay, I will give you the money and you don't have to pay me back until 5 years from now. You don't have to pay any payments on the funding from 5 years from now, and this is the interest rate, and these are my terms, these are my conditions. JMMB actually will help you to find good angel investors to go ahead and pump money into your business if it is that you feel as if your business is too new and you don't want to take on the problem of debt financing, right? And or rather, not the problem of debt financing, but that's just not the type of financing that you want to go through right now. We can also help you with acquiring grants. Now, what a grant actually is funding to provide, to receive a particular service. A grant is monies that will be given to the business to complete a particular service, such as the accounting services. So we can indeed help you to receive a grant from DBJ, which, for the benefit of everyone in the conversation, is the Development Bank of Jamaica, where they can provide a grant to certain accountant and bookkeeping firms to provide you with financial statements. They can put you in touch with individuals who write business plans that you can then use at angel investor meetings or an application for a loan. Now, a business plan, especially if you're a young business, is very, 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 very important, because what it will do is it will outline the plans that you have for your business and how your business will indeed move from point A to point B. It outlines very technical things such as what your niche market is, what your expected revenues are, it outlines a feasibility study. For example, and for those not familiar with what a feasibility study in the aspect of business plan is, say you're starting a business and you want to bake patties and you want to go in the Papine area. Now, for everyone who's familiar with that Papine area or any high populated area, so the strength of that area would be that there's a lot of foot traffic that goes through there. There's a lot of vehicular traffic that goes through there. However, there's also a Tasties there. So what your business plan will help you to outline is the benefit of being there, the drawbacks of being there, and what you call a competitive analysis and a competitive advantage. A competitive advantage is what will differentiate your business from my business. What would make a client visit you versus visiting me? Whether you're competing on price, whether you're competing on service, or whether you're competing on product quality. Now, as you can imagine, to seek funding of any kind, you will have to have a well thought through business plan, and receiving a grant is a great way to finance that, because you don't have to repay the grant. The monies will be paid directly to that individual or that company that provides that service for you. Now, upon successful completion of receiving that business plan, you'll be in a much better position to either A, request debt financing, or B, request some equity financing. And those are some of the services that our resource center in partnership with JMMB Bank as a whole and in partnership with the Development Bank of Jamaica can indeed provide to you. We pride ourselves once again on how much of a partnership we can provide for our clients, right? So we're essentially, we would love to see where our clients grow from new businesses and they found their footing and they're now growing and they're moving towards a point of maturity in their businesses, which is why we're trying to partner with as many MSMEs as we can to help you with the rigors of maintaining a business overall. So from registering the business and educating you about tax services and marketing plans, which can be included in your business plans, to helping you to network and to help you to identify the pros and cons of your business and the strength and weaknesses of your business, to providing funding for your business, whether through a loan facility, whether to help you to buy a building where you can have your business and help you to get financing to stock your business and help you with the marketing and the advertising of the place, to essentially hold your hand and bring it to a point of where you know your business is on a profitable pathway. And we don't just do it and we stop there. Periodical and quarterly check-ins to say, well, let me look at how your business is doing. Let me come by, let me, come and see what your inventory levels are. Let me just get a good idea of the foot traffic so we can provide continuous advice and continuous ways of improving your business for you. Because the only way we will win is if our clients are indeed happy and if our clients are adequately serviced. Now, we do also provide and I left this point for, more or less last for a very particular reason. We provide bank accounts to our clients that from a fee standpoint, and if there's a lot of discourse going on now, other financial institutions that we won't talk about are increasing the fees on their various accounts and their various services. Now, at JMB, we don't feel as if we should ask you to pay for standard services that would come with, having a business account and that type of thing. No, we have a business account that is called a smart business account. It is an interest-bearing account. You don't pay any monthly service charge on it. There are no account dormancy fees on it. Now, as a small business owner, this is definitely something that you want to take advantage of, because your cash flows are depending on you keeping as much funding available as you can to keep the business going. Now, if every month you lose $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 to regular account maintenance fees, and because you haven't used the account in a while, you have dormancy fees and that type of a thing, that is counterproductive to what it is that we are trying to provide you with, and it is counterproductive to where we are trying to go with you as clients. So we don't have any dormancy fees, and we don't charge any minimum balance fees, and it is interest bearing, and we don't charge any monthly fees on those bank accounts. Because as well, so those are the solutions that the Resource Center can indeed provide you with. We do provide other services through the other companies within our financial group. As you would know, JMB is indeed a full service financial institution. Now, what we do have is the benefit of having an insurance brokerage within our financial group. Now, look at it from this standpoint for me. You would have had a partnership with me. I'm your account representative. You would have gone through getting a commercial building for your business. You said, Gareth, I want to purchase this place because this is where I want my business to be, and this is how I want to grow. This is what I want to do. Now, with commercial mortgages and mortgages in general, there will have to be property insurance and possibly life insurance over the life of the borrower. Now, other financial institutions will say, well, you have to go to JNGI to get your property insured, or you have to go to BCIC to get your motor vehicle insured if you're doing a motor vehicle loan, or a commercial motor vehicle loan, or even a personal motor vehicle loan. Here at JMB, because we have the benefit of having an insurance broker within our financial group, you never have to call anyone to do any of that. We provide property insurance, and if you're familiar with how insurance brokers work, we ask all of the insurers, we ask everyone who provides property insurance for a quote on your property to find the lowest possible one for you. So you don't have to call a soul, you don't have to call anybody to provide any service to you as it relates to anything that we provide for you here at JMB. We can provide life insurance, property insurance rather, quotes for you. We can provide a life insurance solutions for you as well for the credit facilities that you do take out from us. We provide a motor vehicle insurance through the regular motor vehicle insurers, ICWI, JN Insurance, etc., etc. So it is literally a one-stop shop for all of your financial needs in our SME department. So we can put you in touch with realtors to help you to find somewhere. We can provide the financing to help you to purchase the building. We can help you to find the insurance for your life as well as the property. And if you buy a car with it, we can provide that. And then we provide regular quarterly check-ins on you to see how your business is doing, how else we can assist. Do you need anything else? We provide cash management services. I have clients that call me on weekends in the evening saying that they're thinking about making this business decision. We are at your disposal to help you to grow. So we provide literally from you walk into our doors and you're greeted by one of us and we've developed a relationship. We provide you with literally everything you will need to either know or have. If we cannot provide it, we know where to get it. So it is genuinely a full service financial partner that upon the starting of our relationship, you will never need any other financial service that we can provide. And that in a nutshell, that is it for me. So we're essentially putting forward a business partnership program where we meet and we discuss everything that is necessary to help your business to form and grow and perform. So Sansia, that's pretty much it for me.
All right, thank you so much, Garth, for sharing with us this morning a very comprehensive suite of services. I'm particularly impressed by the Resource Center solutions, and I know that a lot of questions have been coming in the chat about it. But what I wanted to ask you before I get to what's going on in the chat, the Resource Center, is it an actual center or is it a service that you can access maybe by calling JMMB and being directed to the center? How does that work?
It's actually both a physical area as well as a service. So you can reach out to any of our JMMB representatives and they can put you in touch with the Resource Center representatives. And it's even as granular as getting help to open their account. They can come and meet you to collect the documents because everyone is busy and that type of a thing. They can come and help you to fill out the documentation. You never actually have to set foot in the actual building to access the services of the Resource Center. But to answer the second part of your question, it is an actual physical space. I'm in it right now.
Okay, fabulous. And then what I would want for you to do for us is to put the contact information for that center in the chat so that persons who are interested will know exactly how to make contact with the center. I know that Tracy Ann Walker had a question. She was the first person to drop a question in the chat. So what if you were doing well before COVID impacted your business? Tracy Ann, I want you to get ready to hold, just stick up your virtual hand so that we can open your mic and you ask that question, because I don't understand the context of the question as it's been asked right there. So if you could do that for us. In the meantime, Garth, we talked about how potential clients can actually access the Resource Centers a while ago. You spoke too about debt and equity financing. I think one of the challenges that we have where, you know, an MSME will say, oh, it's so hard for me to access the financing. Tell us the difference, first of all, between equity and debt, just as a little education, and then we can talk about going to the other questions.
All right, so the main difference between equity and debt financing is money that you have to repay. So a debt financing takes the form of a loan. So you borrowed money from the bank and there's a structured repayment amount that you have to provide. Now, equity financing, the easiest example of equity financing is when you provide, is for example, you sell shares in a business. when someone invests in your business, there's no set repayment term as it would relate to a principal and interest payment. However, the benefit for the individual that has invested in it is dividends that is paid from the profits of the company. So similarly to one of the more recent entrants on our stock market was Spurtree. Spurtree doing an IPO is an initial public offer where they essentially receive funds from the public in exchange for shares in the business. And the benefit for you and I who would have purchased is that when the company does declare dividends, they don't declare dividends unless they feel like they've made enough profits to then go ahead and declare dividends, and you will get a benefit from it. But there is no set repayment amount for the monies that they would have gotten from us. And that is what equity actually is. There's no set repayment amount for the monies that were taken, so to speak. Whereas debt is a set repayment agreement between yourself and a financial institution to repay a certain amount of money over a certain amount of time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Tracian, are you ready to ask your question? Wait, okay, there she is.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Tracian.
So my question is, in the initial stages before the impact of COVID, I was transitioning from an online-based store to a storefront. But then the country was impacted by COVID, where schools were shut down, the entertainment sector was shut down, and that's where we made most of our profits. In that process, we also took a loan. So being that I am fully self-employed and not working a 9-to-5, that's where I was really genuinely trying to understand, okay, so what can JMMB do for small business that were impacted heavily in that regard? Because a lot of us may have been taking drastic steps to improve our business while being impacted by COVID. And because of COVID, even if you took a loan or something, that also impacts your ability to pay if you're not bringing in any revenues to also clear the debts that you have acquired during that 18-month period.
All right, that's actually a very good question, Tracy, and we're actually faced with on a fairly regular basis. Now, yes, we are indeed aware of the impact that COVID would have had on the repayment capacity or ability to repay of our clients and prospective clients. Now, in response to that, as I noted before, DBJ would have provided a facility where you can access low-cost financing, and it is for the distinct purpose of recovering from the impact of COVID. Now, a lot of banks will indeed say, if it is that you had trouble paying the loan in the height of COVID, so to speak, they're going to find it a little difficult to provide financing because the debt may have gone back. Now, at JMMB, we pride ourselves on being as personable and as realistic as we possibly can. Now, if it is you and I had a deeper conversation about the reasons surrounding it, as you would have said, you would have gained a lot of your income, or your business model was really dependent on the entertainment sector, as the case may be. We could have then had a discussion to say, all right, and pardon me for the overuse of this word because it's been used a lot over the last 2 years or so, pivot. So we would have a discussion as to how you would have moved from generating income solely from this entertainment sector to probably diversifying how you would have earned income. So if it was a situation where you provided the fabric that they used to make, to decorate the stages, or you provide lights, or you provide food for these parties, or any other things that you would have needed in the entertainment sector, we would have been looking forward to having a discussion to say, well, is it that you moved to something to say you started catering for businesses that had to remain open, that type of a thing. And then we would try to use that low-cost financing to help you to regularize your financing, because we do understand that clients will have some bad debt, so to speak, because of the impact of COVID, and it is our job to try and within the laws of the bank and so on to help you to get out of it. So because you going into a financially strenuous position because of COVID is not a death sentence or a be all end all. If it was a situation where you would have fallen into that financial situation, but we are seeing where attempts were made to continue to generate revenue by moving to and shifting to another way of continuing to generate income, then we will definitely try our very best to restructure the existing debt that you have on the premise, however, that whatever projections you can provide with us, and we have some information of what it was like before COVID, we can say, well, the economy is now moving to a position where these things are now opening back, and you're well known in the space or whatever the case may be, and we are of the opinion then that the provision of this facility will help you to move back to a place of profit, then it is definitely worth a conversation. And further to that point, if you need financing and you need a little time to repay it, we have what is called a moratorium facility. Now, moratorium is really just a fancy word for we give you a little time before you pay back the money. So what it is we can give you a 2-3 months to use the money, and we do it on a needs basis. So if it is we assess the business and we see where you can indeed actually afford to pay it, then it may not be something that we can discuss in great detail. But if we say, well, if it's a situation where you need the money to build out back the storefront, which will take a couple of months to get people coming back in and that type of a thing, we can definitely look at a situation where we give you a 2 to 3 months to do what you need to do, and then you can start paying us back the money.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for responding to that question for us, Gareth. A question came in: to access the resource center, does the individual or business have to have an account at JMMB?
No, you don't. As I was saying in the presentation, we are willing to work with all of our clients even before they're actual business clients. So what we do is, even if you have an account elsewhere or you don't have a business account, we are willing to partner with you. However, part of the partnership agreement will be that we have to encourage you to open an account, but you don't have to have one prior to accessing the help from the resource center. A part of the help from the resource center is opening an account.
Okay, fantastic. And just to go back to the DBJ, the DBJ loans that you spoke about, are those, is that information available on the JMMB website?
No, I don't believe the website is indeed updated with it, because it's not something that is limited to.
I know it's for approved financial
institutions, correct. They're for AFS. However, it is not there, but you can always reach out to me or any other JMMB rep or any of our resource center representatives, and we can definitely walk you through the program itself.
Have you
terms and conditions and so on.
Have you placed the contact information in the chat as yet?
No, I'm actually about to type it right now. I was just answering.
Yeah, because based on what I'm seeing in the chat, there may be quite a few persons that want to give you a call. In terms of the advice provided at the resource center, you indicated that there were some services that are paid. Is it everything that persons have to pay for in terms of the different services, or is like a consultation provided for free and then they can move in from there?
For the paid service, there's no, JMMB doesn't actually levy the paid services, so you don't pay us any money for it. The paid service is really a third party provider service, so okay. it's not JMMB to pay the money.
Okay, I wanted you to, I know that this might be out of the scope of SMEs or something, but I wanted you to emphasize for us, particularly for our entrepreneurs, the importance of having a bank account, because I know that, I think in the last report I heard, there were maybe, I think they said like about 70% of Jamaicans were unbanked.
Unbanked, correct.
Right, and when persons decide to start businesses and want loans from the bank, this is how you really, solidify. This is how you say to the bank, hey, I am real. So I wanted you to touch on the importance of entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs in particular, having a relationship with financial institutions.
Right. I did actually speak about it for a good couple of minutes early in the presentation. It was one of my more important points that I would have discussed in the presentation just now. As I said earlier, it is probably one of the most important things you can do for your business is to establish a relationship with a financial institution, a relationship by way of an operating bank account. Now,
Yes.
what I would have said earlier is that it is very difficult to approach a financial institution to get funding if we can't see any monies passing through your bank account. So I do recommend to all entrepreneurs, whether you register your business 10 years ago or last night, or you plan to register this morning or tomorrow morning, one of the first things you need to do is open a business account. And why I say it is best to do it when you have just registered as well, because when you just register your business, they automatically give you a TCC for about 3 months. So a lot of entrepreneurs have a lot of problems getting clearance letters and getting TCCs and so on. Now, if you register the business, they tax office, company's office, and so on, they will give you a 3-month tax compliance certificate. So you can immediately open your bank account with that. And as it relates to financing in particular, if it is that we cannot see any revenues going through your bank accounts, it is going to be very difficult to provide financing. So it is probably one of the most important things, if not the most important things, for entrepreneurs to do.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Garth. And just for the benefit of the persons who have been asking about the DBJ loan, I have placed the DBJ website, www.dbankjm.com, in the chat for the benefit of those persons. Feel free to visit, see what is available, and note that JMMB is not the only financial institution that is providing the DBJ loans. It's available at any of the banks across the island. And so you can generate a relationship with any of them you want. But this morning we're kind of focusing on the JMMB still.
Yes, let's go with JMMB first, let's
yeah, you can do that. you can definitely go ahead and go with JMMB first. I also wanted to mention that we have placed the feedback form, the event feedback form, in the chat. And I'm going to ask as many persons as possible to just complete the form for us, because we're trying to make the virtual biz zone, JBDC virtual biz zone, better, provide better information, more clarity, better topics, and so on, so that we can provide relevant and useful information to our clients. Also, as a reminder, the session is being recorded and will be available on the JBDC's YouTube channel at a later point. As we are about to close, Garth, would you, is there any final words that you would want to just share, final thoughts that you want to share with our client group before you go?
Yes. The experiences that I've had with, many MSMEs, they're a little adverse as it relates to, developing banking relationships for different reasons, prior experience, impersonal service, and that type of a thing. But what I really want to leave with our MSMEs here today is try JMMB, walk into one of our branches, and I can guarantee you, I'm sorry, I just put my contact information here in the chat. So everyone, you can feel free to reach out to me. There's no main line for the contact for the resource center itself, However, there are representatives that I can provide you with their contact information. I was just going through my email to, place the different telephone numbers in there for you. But back to what I was saying in closing, we are here to try and help MSMEs and Jamaica as a whole to move forward and to try and bank as many MSMEs as possible, because MSMEs are genuinely the backbone of what keeps Jamaica going. And if it is that we cannot open a bank account for you, or it is almost impossible that we can't open a bank account, but we're trying to ensure that we provide the best service possible for all of our MSMEs so that we can help to bank you, so that we can help your business to grow. Do not be afraid to approach a bank because of previous experience that you may have had with other institutions. I promise you it is different at JMB. We will do everything that we can do to help you to open that bank account, to help you to get that money to borrow, to help you to get your investment started up, because you can open a bank account and an investment account. We can put you in touch with an investment rep that can advise you as to what stock you want to get or what type of thing. So just try us, and I guarantee you will not regret the experience.
Thank you very much, Garth. And for Dara, and who just dropped in the chat that opening a business account is so hard with most banks. As Garth said, let's just try it and see. I'm giving you permission to try with JMB. The contact information is in the chat, so you can feel free to reach out to him. His name is Garth Alain, and his number is 876-570-1413. Garth, there are also.
I'm going to type my email address now. Yes, no problem.
Go ahead and type your email address. And while Garth types his email address, I want to remind our clients that the upcoming Becoming Tax Compliant workshop, I noticed that there are some TCC questions floating in the chat as it relates to opening the business and opening the account rather. Those questions can be answered at our Becoming Tax Compliant workshop. All you have to do is go to the JBDC website, www.jbdc.net, and you will be guided as to how to register for that session. We want to thank everyone for joining us this morning, but we particularly want to thank you, Garth, for taking time out of what I know must be a busy schedule at JMB to share with us the information about the suite of services that you have providing for our MSMEs from your institution. Thanks everybody for joining us as well. If you know someone that missed the session, wanted to be part of it, but couldn't be a part of it for whatever reason, in about 2 days, the session will be available on the JBDC's YouTube channel. Remember to complete our event feedback form that has been posted in the chat, but if you don't get a chance, it's not a problem. I'm going to email it to you anyway. So thank you again, everyone. This has been the JBDC Virtual Business Zone. Join us again next week. As I said, this is a 3-part series on access to financing, and we will bring you another financial institution next week, Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of the day.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.